It is a long road to the summit of Canadian women's university basketball. The 2000-2001 University of Regina Cougars knew that better than most. In 2001, the Cougars reached the pinnacle of Canadian Intra-University Athletics Union women's basketball, becoming the first women's team to claim a national championship in school history.
We had been there a couple times, and so we were a top-ranked team from about 97 on. So we had some consistency in our development, and we had been to the national championship and had some devastating losses. There's some women that didn't win that were very, very good. It's really, really hard to win a national championship.
The Cougars had reached the CIAU Final 8 national tournament 3 straight years, but hadn't advanced beyond the semifinals. The Cougars had a veteran core who were making their 4th trip to the national tournament.
They're just great people. They're champion people first. And I think that's what got that team over the edge that year. Not to say that the women on the teams before and after aren't champion people as well. They are, but it does start with being championship people. They were experienced. They'd been there, done that. The year before we won, we lost to the University of Calgary in the semifinal. And after that devastating loss, as the coaching staff, we went back and we knew we had to commit more to game planning. And the athletes went back and spent the summer and then all of that season preparing.
The Cougars had a 30-5 record on the season and won their final 14 games. That included claiming their 3rd straight Great Plains Athletic Conference title. However, a strong regular season and another conference title was not their ultimate goal.
Our kind of catchphrase was that we wanted to make history, knowing that a women's team from the U of R had never won a national final before. That was kind of our motivation. And they had been very close. Like in the 90s, they had almost won. So that was our focus, was to kind of make history and be able to bring that championship back home.
The Cougars opened the Final 8 tournament by beating McMaster 93-49 in the quarterfinal. Next was a semifinal rematch against Calgary. Trailing by 9 at the half, the Cougars rallied for a 71-67 win. In the final, the Cougars beat the hosts from the University of Alberta 94-85. It remains the most points scored in the women's national basketball final.
I think we were a true team. Like I'd said, that you couldn't really count on one person to be the high scorer. Lots of other teams had, the one player that would score 30 a game. We didn't have that, but I think we had kind of a core group of 6 or 7 that could be that person on any given day.
Dedmon would lead the Cougars with 24 points in the final, but 7 different Cougars scored 10 points or more. Simone Bernauer, née Bouchard, was named the CIAU Championship Tournament's most valuable player. She and Dedmon were selected to the tournament all-star team. Corinne Wursta was a 2nd-team CIAU All-Canadian. She and Brie Burgess were first-team All-GPAC All-Stars, and Stapleton was named the GPAC Coach of the Year. The Cougars players were all from southern Saskatchewan. The team had been playing with and against each other for much of their lives through the strong grassroots programs in the city and the province. Their bond stayed strong long after graduation and was never clearer than when starter Crystal McGregor, née Heisler, was diagnosed with cancer before passing in 2014.
Like the feeling of actually achieving such a giant goal was such a great feeling, and to do it with people that are your friends, that you've kind of worked your way up through the ranks with. And then I think the enduring friendships that we left with, when Crystal got sick and everybody kind of came together, it really reminded us all what basketball had given us. And so I think that really taught us to appreciate what we had had more than we maybe would have before then.
Through Stapleton and the players that came before them, a culture was established in the program that led to them being perennial contenders. Stapleton noted that the national championship team had great leadership and was a special group where everyone bought into their role to make the team better.
They're a truly remarkable group, and they're remarkable families. And I've stayed in touch with them all. They're just giving back in a variety of ways. They're giving back as parents. They're giving back as coaches, some of them. They're giving back in the community as leaders. I'm just really, really proud of how they've gone on to be exceptional citizens.
Installed in the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame on September 24th, 2022, the 2000-2001 University of Regina Cougars women's basketball team.